Good morning and welcome to Dorset Council's Licensing Subcommittee. My name is Councillor Emma Parker and I have been elected chairman for this hearing this morning. I'll just go around the room so everybody can introduce themselves. I will start with my fellow councillors.
Good morning, Councillor Sarah Williams, Bridport Ward.
Good morning, Councillor Mike Barron, Corfe Mullen.
Democratic Services Officers.
John Miles, Democratic Services. I'll be doing the minutes for the meeting.
George Stair from Democratic Services.
And our legal team.
Good morning, I'm Phil Crowther, I'm the committee's legal advisor.
Good morning, I'm Hannah Massey and I'm shadowing Phil today.
Licensing Officers.
Hi, I'm Catherine Miller, Senior Licensing Officer and Report Author.
I'll now come to the applicant.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Steve Shield, Town Clerk for Sherborne Town Council.
And I'm Councillor John Andrews from Sherborne Town Council, and I'm the Deputy Portfolio Holder for Open Spaces, just here supporting Steve.
Thank you very much. Obviously in the report we do have some representations, but we don't actually have anybody here today for those representations. Okay, thank you. So before us here, this is for a new premises licence application for Pageant Gardens in Sherborne. I will now go to Catherine to outline the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, the application is a new application for Pageant Gardens. It's for regulated entertainment outdoors, which is for plays, films, live and recorded music, performance of dance, and anything of a similar description to that falling within E, F or G between the hours of 0900 and 2300 hours. The sale of alcohol is on the premises, and that's Monday to Sunday, 10 a.m. till 2300 hours. And their application is at Appendix 1. Dorset Police had requested some conditions to be added to the licence if it were to be granted, and these are: the sale of alcohol under the licence shall only apply to events authorised and managed by the Town Council. A written risk assessment will be carried out for events where the need for SIA door staff or stewards is considered and their need to employ any surveillance equipment such as body-worn cameras. And all events will have a Challenge 25 policy enforced. The applicant has agreed to these conditions, and the police's letter can be found at Appendix 2. There were originally 4 representations received from interested parties. However, the applicant has written to those parties to address their concerns, and they have also stated that they would cease the sale of alcohol at 2200 hours. As a result of these letters, 2 of the interested parties withdrew their representations, with the 2 remaining parties, and their letters can be found at Appendix 3 and the Town Clerk's response at Appendix 4. There were no other representations received from other responsible authorities, and I would like to remind members that the options available today are to grant the licence subject to such conditions as the authority considers appropriate for the promotion of the licence objectives and the mandatory conditions, to exclude from the scope of the licence any of the licensable activities to which the application relates, refuse to specify a person in a licence as a designated premises supervisor, or to reject the application. Thank you.
Councillors, do you have any questions for Catherine with regards to the report?
No.
I have one. Surprise. Catherine, the area has been run under temporary events notices in the past?
Yes.
And have any concerns ever come in from residents surrounding those temporary events notices?
We've received no concerns or comments or objections from residents, no.
Thank you very much. Do you have any questions for Catherine with regards to the report?
No, thank you.
Okay. I will now come on to the applicant. Is there anything else that you would like to add to what you've sent in? Do you want to go over anything on that?
Chair, I do have a representation I'd like to read. Thank you. Chair, thank you for the opportunity to speak at the hearing this morning as the applicant. It was agreed by Sherborne Town Council that I would submit a new premises license application for Pageant Gardens, our Pride Park located at the bottom of town next to the railway station. I understand that both Dorset Council, Dorset Police and Dorset Fire and Rescue Service have supported the newly proposed licence application with some conditions which have been accepted by me as part of the initial licensing process, which Catherine outlined. This includes the Town Council agreement for alcohol-related sales to finish at 10 p.m. as opposed to 11 p.m. in the original application submission for all Town Council-led events. Other organisations booking the facility would continue to apply separately for the relevant TENS licence in relation to alcohol. A new premises licence for Pageant Gardens would give the Town Council the ability to accommodate a number of events each year, taking place both during the daytime and the evening. The popular Sherborne monthly markets utilise Pageant Gardens for most of the year, along with Sherborne Town Band, who regularly use the bandstand, which is one of our prime features within the gardens itself. The Town Council are mindful of the permitted number of TENS licences that can be allocated to the location each year, and a new premises licence would help to ease the administration, saving time for both the Town Council and Dorset Council staff. The Town Council welcomes an increased use of the facility, along with the potential to ease administration in applying for these appropriate licences each year. The Town Council would like to lead, or jointly like to lead, on infrequent, larger local celebration events, whereby numbers could have the potential to rise up towards 1,000 people, in line with our public liability insurance for that particular site. The Town Council and its local community organisations, to include the Chamber of Commerce, have successfully managed occasional celebration events in recent years, which have proven extremely popular to local residents and from visitors afar. One particular event last year notably was the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations in the summer of 2022. Such events have included assistance from event security organisations with appropriate risk assessments that have been undertaken. This year is no different and sees King Charles III coronation celebrations early in May, where it is hoped that a weekend of celebrations can take place in the gardens over both Saturday and Sunday, daytime and evening, generally between the hours of 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. Such events take a considerable amount of time to organise and to fund to make them a success for the local community. For these reasons, such events would be limited each year for those reasons stated. The Town Council are very mindful of its neighbouring residents and businesses, and for that reason would always ensure that appropriate communication and notification is provided for across the town. I'm grateful to the committee for allowing me to speak this morning and welcome your kind consideration on behalf of Sherborne Town Council to this new premises licence application for Pageant Gardens. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for that comprehensive addition. That was really useful. A question I have, obviously, if we were minded to grant the licence, you'd be in an agreement if the termination for the sale of alcohol would be 10 p.m.
Yes, I have discussed that with members, and that's absolutely fine. All previous occasional celebration events have actually concluded prior to that time.
But the timings for the plays, films would still be the 2,300 hours.
Yes, they would. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Councillors, do you have any further questions?
Yes, please. Sorry, you mentioned something about bookings for the Pageant Gardens in your report. I didn't quite hear what you said. Could you repeat it, please?
Sorry, yeah, a number of regular events take place during the year. For example, the Sherborne monthly markets, and I also alluded to the Sherborne Town Band. So they're fairly regular activities with approval from the council. And I think the reason behind, obviously, the new application is really to give greater control for the town council and obviously a greater awareness of what's happening in the gardens themselves. Sorry, thank you.
No questions whatsoever.
Just want to touch on one point with regards to the sale of alcohol. So if we were minded to approve the licence and you have a licence for the gardens, going forward, or when you've run your temporary events notices, have you ever had issue, or do you as the town council have issue if somebody, say, wanted to come to the gardens with their own alcohol when you had an event on? Or would if the licence was granted and you were having an event there, would you be expecting people to only buy alcohol from the sales of you? And if that's the case, how would you control that?
I'd say in the past, we have had instances, obviously, where people can bring their own, or obviously the people that are there to actually sell the alcohol officially, as we've risk assessed, we've received the appropriate documentation and liaised with the appropriate organisations, really. So it's making sure, again, that it's tightly controlled and the appropriate legislation is in place, and obviously any concerns are issued, we'd liaise with the licensing team accordingly. So it'd be well managed. As say in the past, we've had events security, for example, we've had working group or committee members on the ground during those events to manage and control any activities as such, really.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any further questions.
I think that was my main question.
Okay. Further questions? No, and obviously, like I said, we've read, and obviously we've all read our reports. We've obviously taken into the account the objections that are there. Obviously, we don't have anybody to ask. Obviously, no questions for you from that either. So we can only really take on board on what we've got there, because we've got nothing in addition to that. So I'm going to come back to you. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Not at this time, Chair. Thank you.
Catherine, is there anything that you would like to add?
No, thank you, Chair, no.
Okay. Are you content that we've all had our say? Is there anything else that you want to add? No?
Sorry, Chair, if I'm allowed to speak, it's just that we occasionally, or we did have, Pat Monday Fair celebrations, which is an annual fair that goes back to 1500 and whatever it was, which we hold every year in the town, which is just a big street market and all the pubs get filled up. But prior to that, there were a couple of events in Pageant Gardens in a marquee, totally controlled. Don't think we've ever had any trouble with them as well, but they were done under temporary events notices by the events management team that were managing that at the time. You know, they've been very successful. I don't think there's any plan for this year because there's different events people taking over Pat Monday Fair. So I can't see anything else that I need to say.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else that anybody would like to add? If there's not, I'm going to close the meeting shortly. I will go to our legal advisor to clarify that we've covered all legal aspects.
Thank you, Chair. Yes.
I thank you for attending. We will now go into exempt business to make our decision. I will have a vote on exempt because I voted on exempt once and we've come out, and I will go back in. You're happy with that? Okay, thank you. So we will now retire to make our decision. When we've made our decision, everybody that has made a representation will get notified of our decision. It will come out to you via email, and that can take up to 5 working days. Once you have received the written decision, you do have a right to appeal to Weymouth Magistrates Court, and that is within 21 days of receiving the decision notice. Is that all okay? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for attending.